Hello, this is Noreen from Joya Cards, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! For more of my Stampin' Up! Card videos, please click that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified when my videos release. Also, I give away the demo card, so if you're a first-time subscriber, put your email in the comments and I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. Also, make sure you watch the video all the way through, because you never know, I might give the card away to anyone, or I might be doing card kits or swaps or something. So anyway, now let's go make a card. Today's card is probably one of my favorite cards. This turned out really well, and I'm actually on vacation right now. I'm doing like so many videos in a row so I can go on vacations. I'm like in a card coma. But I was kind of intimidated at first because it's from Welcoming Window and there's so many stamps and so many dies. So I was like really super surprised how well this turned out. And I tell you, when you get a set with a lot of dies, go ahead and cut them all out like on a white sheet of paper and see how they all kind of fit. And I also pre-stamp all my stuff too to see what they look like. So like here, I did something like that, and then I pre-cut them all. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna use the die and the stamp set, and we are gonna use some other dies because this is just like one of those buildable cards where you can use a lot of different things just from your stash that you have. So the sentiment tag right here is from Ornate Frames. And then the grass, because I didn't have any more grass because they retired a bunch of stamps. And so I used the canopy leaves from Inspiring Canopy, and they're 4 different sizes, and you can kind of mix and match how you want them to go up. And then the drape in the window, I use basic border dies, which I've been using a lot lately, and I use this particular one here, and I'll show you how to do that when we get started. So let's go ahead and get started. So the base piece, the card base, is going to be just basic white in 5.5 by 4 1/4 at the normal size. And then I cut another piece of black, and the black is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's just like 2 ticks down from the normal size. So that's that part. Now, one thing I didn't mention when I was showing you all the stuff I was using was I am using the brick and mortar 3D embossing folder. So you do need like a 3D embossing adapter plate if you're going to do anything with 3D. Now, this was an old one from Stampin' Up. But if you go to the description in my video and pull the items down, you're going to notice at the bottom there's a link to everything used in this video. So if you need like an adapter thing, and I use the Sizzix Big Shot, so you can get one of those. Now this is an older one, the other ones are just clear, but you definitely need an adapter for your die cutting machine if you're going to use any kind of 3D embossing folder. So let's go ahead and take this brick and mortar, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut this piece 4 by 5 1/4. And before I put it in my folder here, I'm going to spritz it. And one of these little spritzers is also in the description in my video. So, and these are great because they give off just a little bit of a mist without over spritzing it. So that's really important. And then before we even do that, what we're going to do, which made this made the whole entire card, is I used the Whisper White Stampin' Pad here, and I'm going to stamp this embossing folder. This was it. That red color with that white just makes it pop. It's like crazy good. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to put it in here. There's a line at the top where you can see where to stop and to keep it level so you don't have it all crooked, and then close it and then go ahead and put it through your machine. So I put it through the machine, and look how cool that turns out. Now with the machine, now I have a Sizzix Big Shot. I use that base, the bottom plate, which is for embossing folders, the embossing folder itself, and this plate, and that's it. And I'm assuming with the new plate, it's the same thing. It's that, just that base plate for embossing folders, your folder, and this, and nothing else. So that's how you do the brick. Now the next thing I want to make is the tag, because the tag is going to tell me where to put this window, because I need enough room for the tag up on top. So I'm going to use My Sweet Friend right here, and I'm going to use Real Red, and I've cut out in basic white from Ornate Frames this tag here. So let's go ahead and ink this up. It's one of those clear stamps, so you need to use a stamping pad of some kind. This is also in the description of my video, so you can pull it up and you can actually click on it and place an order with me at the same time. So that's great. So there's my tag. Now you need to get the window from Window Flower Box that matches the set here. And I went ahead and I haven't affixed my tag yet because I still have to run this die through. And I'm going to just kind of place it where I want it on the card. And then I'm going to put the window right here. So I have it in the middle where I want it. I have enough room for my plants and everything on the bottom. In fact, I might even bring it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I use the Delicate Frog tape. That's the tape of my choice. I really like that. So tape that on there and then die cut it. So this is what it looks like after it's been die cut. And go ahead and just take all these little pieces and throw it in a box of all the scrappies that are still good, you know. You could use it on something else. Now we're going to make the window part, the actual window, the shutters, and the shelf here. And what I have done, and I know you can't see in the video, but they're up. And what I've used is the Foam Adhesive Sheets. They look like this. And these are fantastic. Now, if you don't have this, you can use dimensionals or the strips. That's fine. But these are fantastic. You just run them a couple times more through your die cutting machine. Just make sure they're cut all the way through. But they're fantastic. So what I want you to do is, this is the shutters, this is the window, and here's the shelf. And I want you to make one of each in just basic white. And then I want you to make one of each in this foam. And after you do the one each, make a second one for the shelf. There are actually two of these. So two of these and then one of these in the foam. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. So everything's cut out. So these are the white pieces here, just in basic white, and these are the foam. So I want you to take, on the shelf, there's two of these, don't forget, because we want the shelf to be a little bit higher than everything else. So go ahead and take off the top piece, which you can tell is the top because it's got all the grooves and everything from it. And I want you to take and put the white piece right on top of it. Try to make it as exact as possible. And then for the other shelf, do the same thing. Take the top piece off only. Don't take off the bottom piece yet. And then we're going to take this and take that off. And we're going to put them on top of each other. So take off both of those little strips there. Okay, so the shelf is done. Now for the window, this is the foam one. See all these little foamy things that you got from cutting it out? Don't throw those away. They're like dimensional. So keep all your scraps and everything because you could totally use these. So don't throw those away. I'll probably even use them for the sentiment tag or something. Okay, so here's the white piece. Here is the top of the window. I'm going to pull that paper off. Don't pull off the bottom. And sometimes it can fight you a little bit. Try to get it off your fingers. Well, let's give up on getting it off my fingers. So let's go ahead and, if I stick my head in the camera, I'm sorry, I'm going to put this right on top. Oh, it's fighting me. Okay, just kind of wrestle with it a bit. Okay, there we go. And get that exactly on top without pulling that bottom piece off. If you can, like I just did, I'll just put it back on. And if it comes off, the best thing to do is take your silicone craft sheet because these won't stick. So I can take that off, so it just fell off, and I can put it down here and I can lift it up because it's a silicone craft sheet. So I'm going to put that one there and then do the same thing to the shutters. So here's that one, and I'm going to put this on. And it's only the fronts, remember. Don't take off the back if you can. And then the second one. And go like that. Now, you could probably just take your sheet like this, take off the thing and put white paper on it and then not have to do that. But then that's wasting a lot of the foam. So anyway, I did it this way. So that's how you do those. Okay, so the first thing we need to do as we put this all together is we need to do the drape inside. And this paper is from Pansy Petals. And when I was putting these colors together, I did a video on July 8th, 2021, so it's just recently, how to track and utilize all your Stampin' Up! Paper. And I made these little samples from the tailor tags. And this is fantastic because you can't always memorize all your DS paper. I mean, it's almost impossible. And you need to see what colors go well together. And this just really helped me a lot. So this is from Pansy Petals, and we're keeping with red and yellow, and then keeping with some neutrals too, because those always go great together. So I took the yellow side of that DS paper, and we're going to be using this die from Basic Borders. And I'm going to just die cut this. And this is just kind of a random piece. It's not even measured exact. But what I do want to do is I want to put that middle part somewhere in the middle so I can line it up here. So I'm going to cut this and I'll be right back. And this is what it looks like. Isn't that cute for a curtain? I thought that was a great idea. So I'm going to take this, and then I'm also going to take a piece of scrap like a neutral. This one, it just happens to be Sahara sand. Now what we want to do in our window here is we want to put that drapery in a spot where it's not like, you know, on top of something else. So I'm going to just kind of guess here. And now this is the backing from that, that foam adhesive sheet. And I'm just using it as a template here to see how far I want it to go down. So this is about right. So I'm going to put it right about there and just kind of pull this over here. And I'm going to go ahead and snail this up using my silicone craft sheet, of course. And I'm going to put that down right where I want it, making sure that point is like in the middle as much as you can. And then flip it over, see how it looks. If you need to adjust it, you could just pull it off. Take that negative and put it in the window, see if that's where you want it. And I think that looks good. And then I'm going to take that neutral paper and I'm going to snail this up some more. And I'm just going to stick that neutral on the back. So you can use scratch paper for that. So that's how that looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it on the card, and I'm not going to dimensional it. I don't think it needs it. Plus I got all these other things up on the foam adhesive, so I'm just nailing this part down to the card as much in the middle as I can, just like so. Now you can take that adhesive part. So this is the adhesive with the basic white on top. And I'm just going to fit it in the hole there like that. And then I'm going to take the shutters and take the back part off. And the flat goes on the outside. So that big longer flat part goes there. And then take off this adhesive back and do the same thing. Make sure that they're all the same level, just like that. And I scooched it all the way up to the window there, just like that. Now we need to put these little brackets on the shutters here, and you get two dies like this. They're exactly the same. So you only need, you know, they just gave you extra if you're making a lot of them. And I want you to cut all four of these in basic black like I've done right here. So we're going to go ahead and take our snail and snail these up and just put them on the shutters like so. So I'm going to put on the other three and I'll be right back. So let's go ahead and put on our sentiment tag, and I use scrap from the foam adhesive strip thing, and I just put it on the back, and there's my sentiment. And now we're going to go ahead and put on the shelf. So take that back off, and you've got two of these on here. So these are all singled and these are doubled, and I'm going to put this in the middle just like that. Now let's go ahead and make the flowers. Now the flowers are these two pieces on each side, and they are different. So if you look on your stamp, you'll kind of notice that this particular one goes only with this, and this one goes with that one. And I'm going to stamp the leaves in Evening Evergreen. So I'm gonna do that. So there's the one in Evening Evergreen and the second in Evening Evergreen. And then you want to take the flower, and we're going to color that in real red. So I know this one goes with this stamp set right here. And kind of line it up before you actually stamp it so you know where to put it. So now ink it up and put it in that spot like there. And then take the other one, do the same thing. In the meantime, make sure you hadn't like turned the block around and you're not stamping the wrong side. So I should be like this. And I'm gonna stamp it right there. Now I'm gonna grab my dark Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blend and just kind of tap in the yellow in the center of those flowers. Try to tap it. If you like paint it, you know, like that, you're gonna get some of that red on there. So tap it, all those little white spots in the middle of the flower. And then when you're done doing that, make sure there's no red on your marker. Now we're gonna die cut it. And of course there's 2 dies for these because they're different. And go ahead and grab some tape and tape these down before you die cut because they'll definitely move around. So I'm gonna tape these down and die cut them. Now that they're cut, we're just going to snail the bottom of each one. And I put the smaller one all the way to the left and the bigger one all the way to the right, like that. Now we're gonna make all the green plants right here out of Inspiring Canopy. There's 4 different sizes of these leaves, and you can use either ones. I think I used the small one, the medium, and I don't think I used the big one. I think I used these 2 here, the smallest and the 2 in the middle. So, and then I took the DS paper from Beauty of the Earth. This is the one that looks like the trees, and this cuts out beautifully. So I already pre-cut those here so you can see them. So before we put them on our card, let's just kind of play around with how you want to layer these up, because we're just layering, because they have holes in them too, you know, because they go part to that other set. So I'm just kind of fiddling around with it. And I am going to put some all the way to the left here where the little picture is, but not as many. So let's go ahead and just start snailing them up and layering them on the card. So I got a bigger one there, and I think I'll put a small one here where the picture is, another big one where the picture is, and just, you know, kind of play with it. You can even, this one actually has one upside down, so if you've got like a dead spot here, flip it upside down. No one's even going to notice. So might do that on a couple of them. Just, you know, do it however you want. It's your card. Just like so. Now we're going to make the little picture in the corner here. And of course it's from the window flower box die. And I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight and the blending brushes. Now remember, all the items that I'm using is in the description of my video. Just pull it down. You can see what I used. You can place an order. Also, I give away the demo card. Don't forget. And this card will fly. I guarantee you it will fly. So if you're one of the first 2 to write a comment in my video saying, hey, I would love to win the demo card, you got to put your email. I can't talk to you without your email address. And I'll email you back and let you know if you won the card. So go ahead, and it's the first 2 subscribers, new subscribers, or if you're a previous subscriber and you've never won the demo card, then you can play too. So you just have to subscribe and write the comment in, and if you're one of the first 2 and you've never gotten a demo card, I'll go ahead and mail it out. So I went ahead and I blended, so you tap on it, tap onto some scratch paper, and do it in circles like so. Now I could have used just a yellow, a Daffodil Delight, but I kind of like it when I sponge it. So I've already got that all blended up, way overkill, that's okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and die cut this out. So here's the picture, I'll die cut it out. And then this is one of the window things. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it as a dimensional here. And just take that off. It's just like any other dimensional, and put that on. And then I thought the best thing to put on here, because I love these bumblebee trinkets. I just can't get enough of these things. They are the cutest thing. And they do go on back order. So when they're in stock, grab them. In fact, grab like 3 or 4. This is in the description of my video as well. So you can click on it and place an order right from here. And then I'm going to affix it. Now I have a paper pumpkin subscription. I do like alternatives as well. And these come in the paper pumpkin. And I'm assuming they also come in the regular card kits that are coming out, or that are already out actually. And these are great. It's kind of like a glue dot without all the bulk. So I like using this. If you don't have any of those, you don't have a paper pumpkin or anything, go ahead and use a glue dot. And then just take the little white piece off and stick on your bumblebee like that. Isn't he cute? I just love that. So now let's go ahead and do the inside of the card. Inside's pretty easy. I'm just using black and white. The basic black piece is cut 5 1/4 by 4, and just stick that in the middle. And then the white piece is cut 5 by 3.75, but don't put it in your card yet, because look, you can do silly things like that. I just marked this card because I'm wearing my ink. I only wear my ink, and I just nabbed it just like that. So I'm going to actually recut this and wash my hands. So if you're kind of following along, or you're kind of going back and forth, make sure you wash your hands. Now I'm going to do the sentiment, which is right here, and we're going to be using Real Red, and go ahead and stamp that up. Try not to touch the sides of your ink cartridge too much, because you never know if there's like some ink just hanging out there waiting to ruin your card. So there's a sentiment, and then I'm going to do the pot, which is in Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to put the pot right here. And then I'm going to grab one of the flowers, and I'm going to use Evening Evergreen, and just kind of turn it the way you kind of want it here. How did I do it? I think I did it like this before. So I'm just going to stamp that on like that. And then I'm going to take Real Red, and make sure you got the right flower one for the foliage there. So the ... one is the one I've got. And line up those flowers. Don't be afraid to use the box and kind of line them up, because I just did that. It's like, how did this go on? So just like that. And I'm going to do like I did before with my daffodil blending pen, and just dot those yellow things in the middle, just like that. And then I took the brick part and the Real Red, kind of like matching the front of the card. And I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put one here. And I'm even going to stamp on my stamping pad a little bit and go like that. And all you have to do is affix it to the card. Now, don't forget, I give away the demo card. If you're a first-time subscriber, or you're a previous subscriber, but you've never won the demo card, put your email in the comments and say, hey, I'd like to win the demo card. And leave your, like I said, leave your email. I don't know if I can express that enough. And then I'll let you know if you won the card, and I'll put the card in the mail. And that will do it for me. So thanks a lot. Bye.